welcome to Wicked Wednesday. On Wednesdays, we wear black.
We do wear black. Hey, and we're all wearing black.
Yes.
We all got the memo.
Yeah, our guests caught the memo too. So, just a little bit. We will introduce our guests in just a moment. But we always start off with our little experiences we may or may not have had in our homes. So, tell me what you got.
Believe it or not.
Are you going to say nothing?
I'm boring. Yeah, no, I mean, there was like one time where it was like, did I hear that?
There was one time at band camp.
Yeah. I don't want to talk about band camp. Jeez. Yeah, no, there was one thing that happened, sound related, but it was not enough to it where you're like.
Was it like a ghost fart? Was it like
Yeah, I would say it was more like ghost fart. It was.
I told you about that one time I investigated that house and we thought we heard a ghost fart, but it was really a snake.
Yes.
It was at that person's house.
That one?
The one we don't talk about.
Yeah, no.
The one formerly known as
yeah.
The not X. Whatever. Anyway, at the time it wasn't. Anyway, yeah.
Dig that hole. Yeah, no, it was just one where you could dismiss it. So it could have been, may not have been, probably wasn't kind of thing.
It could have been, could have, would have, but not.
Yeah, or was.
Or
but
maybe.
It wasn't, when you're hearing like your kid's voice talking at
so
the other side of your door.
So you thought it sounded like Chandler.
Typically, but what I'm saying is this isn't as that. So it's something that could kind of go either way. So why delve into it when you're getting things as substantial as each one of us hearing the other person when we're not talking? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
no,
it was like not circumstantial, but just easy to dismiss. You okay?
The conversation that we were having earlier about people and their pronunciation of farts. Anyway, go ahead. I thought you were going to say something else. I'm like, because I'm like 12.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, no.
Yeah, I was like, wait, is
Does
he
that
gonna
make
say,
a noise though?
I don't know.
I mean, I guess it kind of
wasn't there for it. I don't have.
It makes a noise, maybe.
No, that's the sound that you make. You made that sound when you're talking about you wanted the can opener that pokes the triangle.
Maybe that and the can opener that pokes the triangle make the same noise.
Maybe I don't know.
I've never been there for that. And everybody's lost. I said circumstantial, and
like,
she's saying it's.
John's rethinking
his
life choices. He's like, why did I agree to be on this show?
I got 2 hours of this.
Wow,
dude.
Now he's hung out with me in dark, spooky places, so it's fine. He knows who I am. He knows what my mouth sounds like.
He did get that memo as well.
He got the memo. It's a great memo.
So to answer your question, no, nothing reportable. How's that?
Okay.
What about you?
I feel like sometimes I bring stuff home with me when I'm at the hospital. So, last weekend, I was home last weekend, wasn't I?
I think so. But you were up there recently. I just don't remember
before.
which.
I think it was either last. I think it was the week before last. It was the week before last. That's correct. But sometimes I feel like I get a little bit more activity when I've been there. So I don't know if I bring something with me, and maybe there's some sort of circumstances between the ones that are already here and the.
They're like, what are you doing back?
Like, who are you? Why are you here? No. You go back to where you came from. This is my house. I don't know. I don't know how that. We all don't know how the other side works until we're there, and then we'll try our best to tell the future investigators what it's like. But I don't think you're supposed to know.
No, I don't either.
Otherwise, by now, somebody, and I say somebody, but a spirit, on all the things that we've done and all the equipment we have, somebody would have told us what's up. And nobody's told us yet.
No, true.
So, I mean, mediums that all have their What was that? That was on there. What was
It
that
was on there.
sound? I don't know what that sound was.
Oh, neither. It's kind of scary too.
It was.
John, did you hear that?
Did you hear it too? Is he frozen?
Sounds like a snake hissing.
It did sound like a snake hissing.
It did. That's weird.
It is
Anyways,
weird.
I don't know where that came from. If that was you, Stan, we will make a little note in the chat because we're all curious what we just heard. So I do think I bring something home sometimes with me. They don't stay.
Mm-mm.
I think they're just curious.
I agree.
Did you just?
No, but you were on it just a minute ago, so it could be it.
No, but did you just see whatever that was move?
I didn't see anything move. I saw your monitors come on.
Whatever that white thing is behind my mouse moved. I don't know what that is, but anyways.
Oh, so talking about activity in our
Yeah,
house.
and it's all like, hey, I'm still here, just so you know. No, because I was on my computer. I did juggle my mouse or whatever. My home office is actually also in my living room, because it has the brightest lights, the windows. You know that extra room where I could have put it in that extra room has one tiny window, and it's way too dark in there for me, and that would totally fuck with
No,
my
and here
head.
there's a glass door and two big windows.
Yeah, glass door and two big windows. So it's very bright, and my weird cats. They're speaking of weird. Here comes Stitch. I don't know who walked the other way. He was like, "No, I'm not coming."
Not
I was on the show last week, and that was enough for me. Everyone got to see my butthole. Yeah, I have one cat who's like, "Wait, have you seen my butthole today? Because I'm gonna show you." Cats are dicks. So there's been a lot of extra noises in my house that aren't my usual like cat sounds. Like, yeah, I know the difference. The music.
I saw something. Go ahead.
Did you hear the music?
I have here before, but not now.
Oh, okay. I was like, wait, did you hear it when you got here? And I was like, hold on. No, so John, just so you, because I don't know if you've ever listened to our show, but I have whatever's in my house. My house was built in the 60s, in 64. My house was built for back in the day for Dobbins, because I live by Dobbins. You know, I live by the Big Chicken. So these houses were built for Dobbins retirees. So they were built originally as 2-bedroom, 1 bath. And at some point, somebody turned what was my back porch. And, you know, like back in that time, you had your washer and dryer outside too on the porch. Thank God it's in the house now, and I don't have to worry about freezing and blah, blah, blah. But I still put a heater in there if it's too cold.
Mm-hmm.
But so they turned that porch into a back room. Like, it's like, nobody comes in my front door. Everybody comes in the back door, because when you come in my driveway, it puts you right out at the back door. If you were to come to my front door, you'd have to walk through the grass, around, and it's just nobody comes to the front door unless you're like, I don't know, delivery, food.
Or not in the know.
Or cops. I don't know.
Or
That's who
cops.
comes to the door.
Proven fact.
I
They
mean,
do
like-
come to the front door.
They do. Anyway, so that's usually, I have this extra room. So the noises that I've been hearing have been in that room.
Really?
And that room, like when we first moved here, originally it was Zach's room. And then when Haley passed, he moved into Haley's room. But that room is like a guest room. Now, like when Zach has his friends over, there's always some kid sleeping in that back room. It has things in there like, I don't know, like Paracon stuff that I would take. It has like coats and stuff that we don't wear except when it's cold. I mean, it's just like basically a catch-all room at this point, but there's a bed in there.
It's
and
a
so
true
when my
spare
son's
room.
so when my son's friends come, there's like a rug and a bed and, you know, whatever. So it's comfortable, and they have a place to plug their phones in and whatever, so they can go to sleep. So, but this has been happening when kids aren't here. And it's almost like knocking on that wall.
Really?
Yeah, which is weird because that wall, you know, it backs up to my room, which is, I'm like, oh, what's that? And then so I have gotten up to check to make sure I didn't lock a cat in there. And so there's a cat like knocking shit down because they're tired of being stuck in that room. No, it's just noises. And then I told you, like, I have the people in the
In the attic.
In the attic.
Yeah.
And it's not like, because everybody's gonna be like, oh, well, then you must have a rat or a squirrel or a raccoon in the attic. No, it doesn't sound like that because there's never any scurrying. It's like walk, like footsteps. It's not an animal. It is not an animal. I would put my life on it. I've never heard an animal walk that hard unless there's like a horse up there or something. Someone put a horse in my attic. And I don't know how it would get up there, if it could even walk up the ladder to get there. I don't really know how it would happen. But no, it sounds like someone walking. And there's really nothing up there. So I don't enjoy whatever you find up there. There's some crap that was left by the original owner. It's like some weird mirrors. I think there used to be those
weird
fucking
mirrors up there?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. I know you love weird mirrors. If we ever get them down, I'll give them to you. You do what you want with them. But I know some of the mirrors are, I think originally in my room, the closets were sliding mirrors. Somebody put that hideousness in at some point, probably in the 80s. That's an 80s, early 90s thing, isn't it? Nobody wants that shit. Nobody wants mirrored closet doors. Ew. Gross.
My guest bath, I put in mirrored sliding doors. So because there's like the toilet's here and then there's like the laundry room.
Yeah, so you get to look at yourself while you're on the toilet at Kevin's house.
I haven't changed those out yet, just because I think it's so funny.
Yeah, it's not funny.
No,
when you're sitting there and you're using it, and you're like, oh wow, this is what I look like when I'm sitting on the toilet. This guy. So yeah, it's not fun.
I can't say I've experienced that myself.
Come
you have to come over.
Yeah, come on over. What the hell?
He's not far from us. He's not too far from us.
Really?
So, yeah. We should have just had him come here and do the show with us live.
Yeah.
So we could experience the weirdness in person.
In person. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that's been the extent of mine. The walking, I've only heard that once this week, and it always happens when I'm here by myself.
Of course.
Always.
Now you did remind me of something that has been happening almost every night.
Gas. I just went to the obvious.
What?
Gas. No.
Okay, what?
Well, I mean, maybe.
Sometimes.
But no, paranormally. Not
Okay.
those parts. And I don't know that this is paranormal or not. It's just weird because it's I've had my puppy for almost 3 years. 3 years.
Has it been that long?
I think so.
Shit.
She never barks. In the last 3 nights, at some point, she'll whoop and jump
in the middle
up.
of the night.
I just remembered that because it happened again. Like you said something about animals or something. It reminded me that, holy shit, this has been happening the last couple nights. And she'll whoop and then she'll run over on the bed and like not like cower against me, but just kind of get close and lay back down. So I don't know what that's about, but she looks to be looking kind of at the back of my bedroom door, which of course is 10 feet from where everybody says my house is so active. So yeah, so there's I need to start documenting that one.
Yeah, I mean, besides the fact that he has mirror doors while you're peeing, and that bathroom gives off a weird.
It's really
got
does.
A weird vibe to it, and it's just like it's a guest bathroom, hall bathroom, but it also has this laundry in there too.
So with the door shut, it's just a bathroom,
right? You wouldn't know. It just looks like a bathroom with weird mirrors.
Yeah, with weird.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you can watch yourself pee.
I put those in for a reason, but we won't get into it right now. It was hilarious why I did that. So yeah, there's that.
There's that.
So, but moving along.
Moving right along.
Moving right along.
Out of the weirdness.
We are this week revisiting
Mm-hmm.
the what do they even call this?
Mm.
This is what we tried last week with the red wine and sweetened condensed milk, and then aerated or blended.
Yeah.
And
I have one of those like coffee. It's like
yeah, and it is as good this week as it was last week.
Cheers to that.
It sounds like it would be hideous.
It's not.
It is
We
like
should try
a.
white wine.
That might be pretty good too.
We could try it.
We
I
could
have
try
white
it.
wine.
I'm down. It tastes almost like some sort of drink you'd had as a kid.
With a kick to it.
The non-drinking kids, not the.
I was gonna say it sounds like a dessert topping, actually.
Yeah,
it almost is like more like a dessert drink.
Yeah, it's of course it's thick because of the condensed milk,
Right.
but it takes kind of out that wine taste, and you're just left with this like creamy grape,
Yeah.
almost like
With
a
a
grape.
kick.
There was some sort of like grape popsicle or something that was out when we were kids, like a creamy grape.
I don't know. I've never liked grape. They used to flavor medicine and shit with that. I can't stand the taste of grape anymore. Like fake grape. Like I love wine. We all know. But if it's like grape flavored, I'm like,
Yeah. No, it tastes kind of like some sort of a grape desserty. Oh no, it tastes more grape than wine.
it's like a dessert wine. An
But-
aperitif. Is that the right word? Did I make a fancy word come out?
You did make a fancy word came out. I don't know how accurate
Oh,
it
look
is.
at me. Aperitif. Aperitif. Not fancy like that.
So
Yeah.
that was
So here's this is a little funny story, and it has nothing, well, it kind of has to do with ghosts, but so I had a meeting today, like for my team. No, I'm not going to say anything like that. It's nothing incriminating.
Oh yeah.
Nothing incriminating. I had a meeting today, and in my meeting, everybody's like, oh, blah, blah, blah. And like our boss wasn't there yet. So we're kind of just talking amongst ourselves. Everybody's like, Amy, how are you? And I was like, I'm great. I'm just, my fiance and I planned our vacation. I'm like, oh, what are you planning on doing? I'm like, well, we're going to go to Gatlinburg and do some things like that because she's never been to Tennessee, and I'm going to take her to see the hospitals because she's never seen either of the hospitals, and she's actually never been to Tennessee. So this is pretty cool because I love Tennessee, and I can't wait to share it with her. So, and I was like, yeah, blah, blah, blah. I was like, and this one lady's like, oh, where? I love Gatlinburg. That's kind of my old hunt. And I was like, okay, cool. And I was like, yeah, well, we want to do Dick's Last Stand and Old Smoky, and I was like, and then, maybe a little bit of like hiking because I want to see this ghost town. And this one lady said, oh, I don't hike. And I was like, oh, well, I don't hike either. I am not a hiking lesbian. I'm not a Subaru lesbian, and I'm not a hiking lesbian. I'm not a Subaru gay, and I'm not a hiking lesbian. I don't want to hike unless I absolutely have to. Like if it was, I'll hike to something cool, but if we're talking hiking, I don't want to hike for like 4 hours. Like, nah, dead. But I do want to see that ghost town that's near Gatlinburg, whatever it's called. I can't think of it because my brain, because I've had wine and now my brain stops working. But I do want to do that, and like they all died laughing when I said that, and they're like, the one lady's like, "Oh my God, Amy, you're too funny." I'm like, well, I'm just pointing out the obvious. Everybody has like these stigmas of like, oh, the lesbians like to hike and drive Subarus. Nah, my fiance drives a Jeep. She's a Jeep lesbian. That is a whole different ballgame than the Subaru lesbian. And those Jeep people, look, I'm going to offend some Jeep people, but I think that's sort of a little bit of a weird cult. It's a little culty. Got weird, like, waves and like then the ducks and it's some sort of weird cult. I don't think it's a spooky cult, but it's some sort of culty thing. Anyways, if she's listening, she's gonna be mad. So sorry, love you. But no, I'm not a hiking lesbian, so I don't want to hike, but I do want to see that ghost town. I do want to go to that. So I'll hike if that's. Hopefully, it's not a long hike because I may die. Because again, if I'm hiking or like a lot or running, something bad is about to happen, and y'all should follow me because something's gonna get me. Something's gonna get me, and I'm just gonna run. So so that was my little sidebar of the story. And the lady's like, "Oh, you're so funny," and I'm like, "Yeah, no, I'm serious. I'm not a hiking lesbian."
Well, I've never seen you run in the hospitals, Amy. So
No, I haven't. Mm-mm.
You may go in a zigzag, but never run.
No, I have gone in a zigzag motion when I got screamed at when I was there by myself when I was sweeping and mopping on the second floor. I could hear the scream coming from the stairwell at the end, closer to like Nellie's side. Yeah. And so I was like sweeping and mopping, and then there was a scream. And I was like, oh, okay.
Time to go.
Okay. I'm just going to sweep. And I swept in a weird zigzag motion I never turned my back to that side because I don't want anything sneaking up on me. But, really, I don't know where it came from. They could have snuck up on me from the back, and then I would have just been
It's a ghost, so it can pretty much sneak up anyway.
They can sneak wherever they want to. They can just be in my face. But the scream kind of like changed the mood of the day. And I was like, oh, I'm going to hurry up and get done with what I'm doing so I can get out of here.
Screams usually do that.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So anyway, tonight we have John Howe with us, and he's been listening to all of our nonsense, and he's rethinking his life decisions. Like, well, why did I decide to come on this show? But I love him, and we became friends because he is also a volunteer at the hospitals. Kevin was at one point. We're trying to work on that again to bring him back. Yeah, he started when I did, but
things happen. Life.
So, but he's trying to come back. So, now, will you be at the public on the 26th?
I'm going to do my best. I'm working full time now, and that's put a little dent in my scheduling. So I'm going to try my best, and I'm working towards getting back there more and more. So.
Okay. Well, just think about it. You have like pass right by us. We could all like have a little ride together, ride along,
a convoy.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it. Let's do it.
Because I'm by the Big Chicken, and he's a little bit further north than me. Like the 575-75 split, he's that way. But you're only like what, 15-20 minutes from me, if that. And that's with traffic.
Yeah, with traffic.
With traffic.
With traffic, 30. Without traffic, like 7.
Yeah. Welcome to Atlanta. Or the Players Play.
I used to buy my stained glass near the Big Chicken. There used to be a stained glass store right near there. And they moved.
Why does that sound so familiar? How long ago was that?
Oh, gosh. That was about 10 years. 10 years or so ago.
Yeah, that sounds really familiar for some reason. Why do I know a stained glass place? But
there was one in the shopping center with Life Grocery.
Yeah.
On Roswell Road. This Roswell Road, not Sandy Springs Roswell Road.
Yeah,
Marietta Roswell Road. Roswell Street.
One. Yeah.
Because I think right here it's considered a street. I don't know who makes the rules in Atlanta.
And why does it change?
And
if it can be a road in one place, why's it got to move to a street?
Right. And why are there like 15 roads named Peachtree? Could we just not think of any other names? There's other trees besides Peachtree.
Yeah.
We could have had like a...
We have more peanuts and peaches. So
could be a peanut tree.
Yeah. I could
you know what?
I
live on Peanut Street. You take a left on Peanut Street.
Yeah.
We're obnoxious. I'm sorry. Now, okay. Let's get into you because I want to know, how did you get involved in all this? I always love to hear everybody's before story.
Okay. Well, I bought this condo in 2010 and renovated it. And you know what happens when you renovate? Well, I moved in 2012 and things started happening. There's some heavy
He froze.
Just
Hold on, you froze. There's some heavy and then
Lube.
lube.
No,
Lube?
not lube.
Oh, louver doors. Louver doors.
There we go. Hi,
Sorry,
welcome
you
back.
froze and we were like,
Uh-oh.
you
know.
froze like,
You look cool though.
yeah, you
know
did
it.
look cool.
Yeah.
Oh, it's happening again.
It does look like it. And it could, who knows who's freezing?
Are we freezing?
No. From his perspective, we may be the frozen ones.
Oh, well, let's do
You did.
it.
There we go.
There you go.
Hi.
Jack? Hi.
Did we freeze to you?
No, you did not. Should I try my cell phone instead?
No, I mean, I don't know what's happening.
Let's see what keeps going.
We'll see
and
what's
then if
going
we
on,
have
and then
to.
we have to, we'll do it in a few minutes. Oh, it's happening.
Is it happening?
Let's drink.
All right.
Cheers
We're
to
drinking
We're
while
drinking
you
while you're frozen.
unfreeze.
Uh-oh.
Oh, shit, we got caught.
Am I back? Am I back?
You're back.
You're back.
Drinking titties.
Drinking titties.
And okay, so you had doors.
There
Yeah.
are very
Here's
heavy louver doors in front of my laundry room.
Okay.
They started moving anywhere from 6.
Really?
You froze again.
But even that, 6 inches.
That's not
That's
6
his-
inches. That's a man 6 inches. But I ain't 6 inches.
That's 6 inches.
You think?
Go get a ruler.
I'll get.
Go get a ruler. While we're waiting on him to unfreeze. I said this is 6 inches. We're gonna see how close I am. She said that's a man 6 inches. So it moved from 6 inches to how far?
To like a foot and a half. The door.
Did it froze again?
Yeah, he froze again.
Damn it. Look at this gay tape measure I got. It was free. No, it was $1.
So is it gay because it's free, or is it gay?
No, it's gay because it has a carabiner. It's
Oh.
very lesbian-like. I can't see the numbers. I don't have my special glasses on.
You don't mind? Grab 'em.
Can you see?
That looks like it's.
Oh, he's back. I think he's back. Are you back?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes, now we can.
Oh, I'm back.
I don't know what that is.
What's that number right there?
I don't know. I can't see. I'm blind. Okay.
Um,
So the doors.
But-
Moving from 6 inches to a
but
foot and a half.
This to this. I mean, I go where the laundry room is, and they'd be open by six inches a foot, and this would happen like 3-4 times a week for years. Lights would go on and off throughout my condo.
You were
They would
right.
be-
That's
It
it.
was just it
That's
was just
crazy.
on and on. For
Sorry, I live, in city limits. Welcome to the hood. Can hear sirens in the background. I have the door open for my cats so they won't be dicks, but and so we
Oh.
get sirens.
I'd love to meet your cats. Love to
There.
see your cats.
Look at
There's several.
someone came running. Who is that? My God, that's Ohana. Oh, she's gonna be big and brave tonight. Look at Stitch. He's like, what is that?
That's a big cat getting mad.
He's
They're like running to the door because of the siren outside.
yeah, like I don't understand why are we running to the door for the siren. They're like, yay, I have the screen door, and they're just like, oh yay. Like Ohana's like, I'm gonna get him. And Stitch is like, maybe they want to see my butthole. He's like, yeah, I'm gonna go show him. Look at it. Now, did you ever feel uncomfortable when this was happening? He's frozen.
Oh
Did I
no.
freeze?
Yeah, you're frozen.
Yeah,
Every-
maybe. Let me text Stan and let him know that you're gonna try your cell phone.
because you're frozen again. Oh, you're back.
I'm back.
Yeah, Kevin's gonna find out if you can if we can switch you to your cell phone. Maybe that will work differently. Maybe your ghosts just don't want you to talk about them.
You know, I've got my link on my cell phone here, so I can try it.
Yeah. Weird that you're freezing when you start talking about them.
Yeah, because it doesn't look like you freeze when you're just sitting there. It's once you start talking about 15 seconds after you start talking, it freezes.
Yeah.
Oh, they're around. They're still here.
Of course they are.
That's not in question. And
now, what year was your home built in?
I think it was 1978.
Okay. So you don't know what kind of.
That's in line with mine. Mine was built in the late 70s, early 80s. Late 70s.
Yeah, I can see that from the style of home that you have. Definitely. Late 70s or early 80s is about that style of home. Is he frozen again?
Yeah, and Stan said he'd let him in if he...
John, Stan said he'll let you in if you try it on your phone, if you can hear us.
Blink twice if you hear us.
He can't blink. He's frozen. Do I need to have the to mix the
more
to make or do you just want white? I said
white. What?
I sounded like such a redneck.
Is that with milk?
I'm just telling you, like people in different parts of the country say milk differently. John, are you from Georgia?
No. Actually, I'm from Connecticut.
Okay, will you say the white stuff that comes from a cow? How do you say it?
That everybody drinks.
Milk.
MILK. Say
it. Milk.
Okay.
Yeah. See, that's.
I
just noticed like that people in the Carolinas say it differently.
They say like milk.
Milk.
Oh no. Milk. No. Northeast, it's milk. It's just milk.
Yeah. Well, in here, it's milk.
It's milk here. I'm like we're in Georgia and it's milk here. But for some reason, the Carolinas, they say milk. I don't know why. It doesn't make any sense to me.
Not where I'm from in the Carolinas. We said milk. I was born in North Carolina. That counts.
But you didn't grow up in North Carolina.
4 years.
4 years you're in North Carolina. That don't count.
And John, if you can hear us, Stan said that if you want to try your phone, he'll pull you back into the show if you want to try that.
Oh, okay. I'm trying to get to it.
He can hear us. He's moving. Like his face is moving.
Well, and you can hear him.
I know. See what I have to deal with?
I just don't know why I keep timing out. But
it's because your ghosts are like, they don't want you to talk. But you started, let's go back. You started renovating your home.
I did.
And
I did. And yeah. Am I still there?
Yeah, you're still here.
Oh, here we go. I think I'm getting into my phone now. Yep.
Your thing just moved.
There I am. Okay, I see me on my phone now.
I see you.
I think maybe I can be admitted. Oh, I've got to put my name in there. And here comes Alfie.
Oh,
you may get a
oh my God, you have an orange.
Now we know where the other brain cell goes.
You have the brain cell right now, don't you?
He's the best. This guy is just the best.
Well, you know the jokes about the orange and how they only have one brain cell and they share amongst each other.
Oh, let me shut this down here. Oh, there we go. I'm sorry.
Wow.
Okay, there we go.
I'm here.
Well, so you're here. So like the orange, I'm sure you have the orange glitter. I call their hair glitter because the orange cats, they love to leave their glitter everywhere. Baby bug. Like Kevin can come here and not even touch Baby bug, but will take home some of her glitter
Oh, look at.
Look at, oh, I love you, kitty.
That's my Alfie. That's my boy.
Hi, baby boy.
Wow.
See, I have an orange female, the rare orange female.
Oh.
Yeah. It doesn't make them any smarter because they're rare.
He's
They do some weird stuff, the orange cats. The orange cats are weird. I love them. The Baby Bug is my second orange female, and I adore her. Like, she came into my life like a week after my daughter passed away.
oh.
So she was like meant for me. And but my Lord, she is so special. If Baby Bug was a student, she would ride on the short bus. She would. Bless her. Look at him. Oh my God. He's like, Daddy, I love you.
He's a hugger. He's
I
the best.
Oh my
Oh, that's
God.
awesome.
Orange cats are the best. They're so weird, but they're the best. Oh, Alfie is the
Alfie.
greatest boy. That's Joy. That's your friend, I think, right? Commented in the chat room.
Oh yeah, Joy knows Alfie. Hi, Joy.
And then we also have your drunk. Who's Amanda?
Oh yes, Amanda, another friend on in the paranormal realm. Hi, Amanda.
Amanda doesn't seem to like us because she said that our drunkenness is rather rude. Wow.
Oh. Moving right along.
And just to fill people in, that is we bring in our guests later in the show. We talk about the little standard stuff that we always talk about. We used to have them sitting in the waiting room, but we didn't want to do that to our guests because we wanted them to be able
we
to
love our guests.
If they wanted to chime in, if they wanted to have something to say, we wanted them to be here to say that. But about the first 30 minutes of our show is us talking about random bullshit. We know it's bullshit.
Yeah, we know. That's what we do.
Yep.
So I'm sorry, Amanda, that you're offended by our drunkenness. Because we're not drunk. We did have a drink and you watched us, but we are not drunk. And I'm so sorry that you're offended. Amy.
You have subtitles.
I do have subtitles.
Yeah.
Read my subtitles. But you know what? So don't listen.
So, but back to the lovely cat.
Back to the lovely cat. And back to your, so let's go back to you. We're talking about, oh my God, I love that cat. I want to hug him. I want to hug him. Look at him. He's so snuggly. He's so sweet. Oh my God, I love your cat. Anyway. So, tell us, so you were renovating.
Oh gosh, yeah. That's the really, excuse me. It started when I started moving. I started actually having some premonitions about things happening to people around me and some family members, things that came true. And
that happened when you started renovating?
Yeah, a lot of things started happening.
I can't hear him.
No, the sound went out again.
Now it's your sound. We can't hear you.
John, see if you switched over from speaker to normal.
Well,
there we go.
Now we can hear you. Okay.
I'm back.
Yeah.
Okay, so tell us about the premonitions.
Yeah, there were some premonitions I had. I had visions of some things happening to family members. I warned my sister about my brother-in-law falling on a dock. I could see him falling on a dock, and he did shortly thereafter and broke his wrist.
Really?
Yeah, and then also I had a couple other things happen, and then just some interesting things like that. I'd get visions of things, and then as I was moving in here, I'd start seeing lights would go on and off, and then the louver doors would move, and pictures still get turned askew on the wall here often. It's really interesting because there's one right there right now that's askew that wasn't earlier today. And we don't get vibrations that are large enough to cause that. So
Right.
anyway, with the help of I happened to meet a psychic medium around that time. Those things started happening. She helped me figure out who it was. And anyway, I had quite a resolution there because I didn't know that person had passed away. And I went out to Los Angeles and found out they'd passed away. And then kind of had a resolution to the whole situation. All the activity pretty much stopped. If I ask for a sign now, I will get one within a day or two.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, they're still here. So it's all is well. All is well. But that was the start of my journey. And then at the same time, I started investigating. Found the Sage Tribe with MJ Dixon. It's a wonderful, wonderful group of people, and been investigating with them now. So if anybody out there wants to learn more, they can go to Sage Tribe on the internet. Just a fantastic group of people and great investigators.
So just a search for Sage Tribe will find.
Oh yeah, you'll find Sage Tribe on Facebook, and MJ Dixon is the person behind it. Incredible investigator and paranormal everything, mentor, expert. But anyway, that was the start of my journey in the paranormal, and I've been, of course, know Amy and everybody at the hospitals. It's been just incredible working up there, and I've got to get back up there. It's just been, I feel like I've left home.
Yeah.
You know that feeling, Amy, if you don't go up there for a while, you just feel like you've left home.
You do.
It's just I've got to get back there. So
it becomes like a, I don't know, like an addiction. You know, it's like it's calling you. Like, come to your second home. Remember me? And you go there and you feel at home.
Oh yeah. And thank God for people like Ronnie D, and everybody up there, Rhonda, everybody. He's
absolutely.
Chris, Josh, everybody. It's just been the best investigating with them and everybody up there. So
now, you're with us that night when we were sitting in the hall, weren't you? With Heather and Jeff. That night we were sitting in the hallway on the first floor. Were you there with us?
Yes, I formerly had my mind blown in many different directions that night in that hallway. That was unbelievable.
That whole, like, someone looked in like that at us. Remember?
Oh, the huge figure in the doorway. This huge male figure in the doorway.
Huge.
I saw it. He stood there for about 10 seconds, and then he stepped back out of the doorway, and they told us in the lobby there was nobody there.
Right. And so, like, I got up and went to invite, and I said, hey, you're welcome to join us, because it was one of those team investigation or group, you know, like a public investigation. Words are coming out hard. But
right.
And so I thought it was somebody who was trying to join us, because there was a few of us in the hallway, like, you know, with our stuff out, and we were doing our thing, and I thought it was somebody, and like, because they were like peeked in and peeked out, and I was like, and you know, I said, hey, you're welcome to come and join us if you'd like, and nothing. So I got up to go and look, because we were close to where everybody sits by the front door, like Heath and Ronnie and Brooke, and I don't know who else was there, but I know I went around and I said, hey, did y'all come around the corner and like look, or did anyone else come around? That person was taller than anybody that was sitting at the front door.
There were no other males in the building that night that we saw that were that big. It was ginormous. This person was huge.
Yeah, and I think Jeff's like, I think that it was wow, my brain just went dead. Obviously it was a resident of the hospital, I think. I mean, it wasn't a human. It was a human. It wasn't a living person.
Yeah, I wonder if it was Jim.
That's what Jeff thinks. Jeff thinks it was Jim.
Oh, okay.
Because we like looked at pictures, you know, because there's pictures in his room. And Jeff's like looking at the curly hair and the size of him. Now we obviously don't know how tall he was, but that was a person that was obviously taller than me because I stood up next to that door, and that person would have come higher than I. And we all know I'm a little bit short, but that person would have come up a little bit higher than me. Obviously, maybe like a foot taller than me. And nobody came around the corner. Hey, Devin. We have Devin joining us tonight too. So I don't know, but I don't think that, I mean, obviously we know it wasn't a person, but it was crazy because we all saw it.
And yeah, and you know, some of the group sitting at the front door, Ronnie and Brooke, some of them were facing towards the lobby. They were right off the lobby, facing towards the lobby. They would have
seen it.
They couldn't have missed them.
No. And the fact that how quick that I got up to go to that side, to go to the doorway, there's no way that somebody could have moved that fast to get away that they wouldn't have seen it. You know what I mean? Like, It wasn't like, it was crazy. And the way that I called him he because I think it was a male. The way that he went would have been, back in the day, that wouldn't have been a wall right there. Like, we've looked at the layout, yeah, and that wouldn't have been a wall at that time.
The other thing is, wasn't that far away from where I was sitting, and you could hear a pin drop, you couldn't hear footsteps, you couldn't hear him walking, and that floor is between, you know, the floor has some grid on it sometimes. We didn't hear any footsteps.
Yeah, that's true.
You went super quiet, but I could kind of hear.
We could hear
what you
that
were
you
saying,
couldn't hear
but
footsteps.
Yeah, couldn't hear footsteps. No, you couldn't hear anything. You didn't hear anybody walking away. You heard nothing. That person just peeked in and peeked out. They're like, "What are you doing?"
How many people were in your group that were seeing this figure?
There was about 6 of us.
Yeah. Yeah, I would say 6. There were 6 of us, and we all saw it. Everybody saw it because we all looked up because we were looking that way, and everybody saw it, and we were all like, "Did y'all see that?"
So was this figure there long enough for you to look at it and your eyes to recognize you were seeing a figure?
Oh yeah. He was standing in the doorway at least between 5 and 10 seconds.
What? Can you turn it up? I can't hear him.
Yeah, John, for some reason you went from like normal loudness to like really soft.
Your ghosts do not like you talking.
Well, it wouldn't be the first time that strange things happen with electronics.
Yeah, I'm at 100%. John, say something for me.
Oh, can you hear me? Hear me okay?
Barely.
How about now?
Still super light. That is so weird.
Has that happened before?
Let me. Can
No.
you
And I found this person.
look into why you can't?
Here she is.
All right, I sent a message, Sean. I apologize. I don't know what end of the spectrum this is lying in, but yeah, you come in. The picture is great. You haven't frozen since you switched.
Okay.
So there's no picture of yourself.
Yeah, Stan says he's been trying to fix it too. So it doesn't appear to be on our end. And your phone didn't move, so it's not like your speaker button. Oh, that was loud. Say something now.
Yeah. Did I heard?
Yay! We can hear you now.
Oh, it went loud and then went back down.
Oh, it did?
How about now?
No.
It's quiet.
Move the bottom of your speaker again, or the bottom of your phone again. Yeah, I hear that loud.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Are you holding that out there at that angle?
I am holding my phone.
I'm wondering if it may be like resting in your palm or something to where you're covering up the mic.
Okay. Let me see. I think if you can hear me now, that was it.
I can hear you perfectly.
Okay.
Cool. So other than the event that we were talking about where the six of y'all saw a figure, what is one of your favorite I don't want to say sightings, but favorite events or favorite activity thing that you experienced in the hospital?
Oh my gosh. Up on the third floor,
Uh-huh.
I was down the hall doing Estes method, and
Where on the third floor?
around let's see, down just past the old nursery. The old nursery, you know, there's a nurse's station.
So
If
you're
in
on
front
the
of
dark side. You were on the dark side.
Yes, yeah, the dark, exactly, the dark side.
Okay.
Down past the nursery, down the end of that hallway, and everybody else was up by the nurse's station. And I had my cameras on, my night vision camera, my IR cameras facing that way, and I was doing the Estes method down the hallway. And I was sitting down there alone, and all of a sudden I felt somebody rush up on me, and so I had to stand up, and I said, I just can't do this here right now. Somebody's just rushed up on me.
Yeah.
And on my camera on playback, you can hear all this. You see me getting up, and you hear an EVP, somebody saying he's going away.
Really?
And then after I walk up the hallway back to the nurse's station, you hear the voice say, I just want you. So these are so clear, and it just unmistakable EVPs. That's one of my favorite set of EVPs. They're so clear, and I know a lot of people have had the similar situations. But
yeah. What makes that so cool, John, is the fact that not only did you record an EVP that's so clear, but you also have like video footage of what's going on as you're recording the EVP. I mean, think about how many times people come to you and they're like, dude, I got the coolest EVP. And you listen to it and you're like, that's really cool. Or, okay, but was this?
Yeah.
The fact that you have both the really clear, one of your prize EVPs, but you've also got a video backup to that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's to me, that's just like the coolest thing ever.
Well, those hospitals, I almost every time I've been there, we've caught something that's just unbelievable. I mean, there's so many things at Harriman. Harriman is just a whole nother situation there. Some of the things we've recorded there have been just unbelievable.
Harriman.
Oh, Harriman's amazing.
Absolutely.
I think he loves Harriman more than Old South.
Well,
you already said it.
Did I say that
to me?
Did I?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I don't. But Old South is so high on my list.
Right, but you love Harriman.
I do love Harriman. But I don't know. Maybe it depends on time of day as to which one's my favorite. But I don't know. I can
tell you a story about Harriman.
Yes, please.
Oh my goodness. We were there.
Harriman story.
We were there. Yeah. I was there with Justin Mathis and Stacy and Dee.
Okay.
And we were doing an overnight there. We heard something rush up on us, and I caught it on camera. And it's just extraordinary. Another time I was there with Josh Davenport and Holly, and let's see, who was there with us too? Lacey was there, I think. And we were walking down from the third floor down to the lobby to get some coffee, and we heard Holly's voice in one of the stairwells say, "Where are you going?" And so we're going down to the lobby. No, actually, she said, "Who's that?" And he said, "It's just us, just going down to the lobby."
And we got down to the lobby, and she was down in the lobby. She was not in the stairwell.
Oh,
That was Holly Davenport's voice, and I was walking down with Josh, and we heard her voice as clear as a bell in the stairwell, and that was not her.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's
well,
really cool.
everybody says, there is a mimic at Old South for sure. But now clearly there's a mimic at Harriman.
At Harriman, oh, definitely.
Yeah. Now I have heard a mimic at Old South, but something about Harriman. It hits different than Old South.
And that's
For
kind of
lack
where
of
I
a
was.
better way to describe it, hits different.
Yeah, it does, and that's when you said it's your favorite. It just boils down to how it. To me, it just hits different with me,
Right.
and I'm comfortable at Harriman. I don't know why, but I'm just really comfortable at Harriman.
No, like this guy was on the second floor alone by himself. Down with was it the second floor? Or third floor?
Second floor.
Second floor by
The
recovery, surgery, recovery.
Where we recorded the little
surprise and the kid playing with
the ball.
The ball,
with
yes.
the SLS camera.
With the SLS. That was freaking cool. We did catch that like on the SLS, but he got the SLS with somebody playing on with the ball.
There was a ball on the bed.
Yeah.
And I think I was holding the SLS. I can't remember.
You had the SLS because I had the Ovilus. And that's when we got the surprise because a bunch of people, it was just Kevin and I. And then Shannon's group came in.
And it said surprise.
And they started walking in and it went, surprise! And my Ovilus is Dave Schrader's voice. So it was Dave Schrader. And it surprised all of us because he says it like, surprise! And we're all like, ah! And then
John, if you haven't heard surprise, bacon, or beer coming from an Ovilus,
oh my God, you
will die laughing. That will ruin any investigation you're doing.
When he's like, bacon.
I have that Ovilus too. So
you've heard the bacon.
I have Dave Schrader with me at all times, which is fabulous.
Dave Schrader apparently enjoys bacon and beer.
And beer.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah. So we were there at the nurses station. There was a bed right in front of the nurses station with a ball on it. And the ball was moving just enough that you weren't sure if it was your eyes. You know how there's just subtle movements and you're like, okay, I'm in the dark. Am I seeing this actually moving, or is it just because I'm in the dark and my eyes are trying to perceive what it's having a hard time seeing?
Right.
But then on the SLS, you could see a small stick figure kind of not on its hands and knees, but kind of leaning over.
Like sitting, like almost like a cross,
but it was
like Indian style.
But it was leaning over and pushing on the ball. What did applesauce ever
Devin
do?
said I was supposed to say crisscross applesauce and not Indian style because that's offensive.
I did not.
I want to know when Chris crossed applesauce. I'm just saying.
Maybe that offends Chris.
Yeah.
Sorry, Chris.
But yeah, so then I went up there and spent some time by myself in that area, a good several hours.
Many hours, yeah.
Many hours by myself up there. And yeah, it took a minute to kind of just get over the fact that I'm spending that much time there sitting in the dark just to see, what transpires, what happens, what occurs. But yeah, since then, I have been just
Harriman obsessed.
Well, I'm not obsessed, but I'm comfortable there for some reason. I don't know if we made our peace or what, but yeah, it's a favorite of mine, definitely. Well, they both are, but yeah, Harriman. There's something about Harriman that I can't put my finger on that I just absolutely love. So yeah. So you have, and I'm going to kind of pop off of the hospital discussion for just a second because
How dare you?
I know, but I just want to know more about, some of the things that you've experienced. You've done, and what's the name of your Sage team? Sage?
Oh, well, Sage Tribe.
Sage Tribe. That's
Yep.
right. Have you done many investigations with Sage Tribe?
I was fortunate enough to get to go to England and Wales last year and investigate, some very haunted places.
Wow.
We stayed in a castle, actually, Craignoir Castle, and for part of it, and also we got to investigate quite a few places there, and also got to go to New Orleans with Sage Tribe, which was an amazing event.
I can imagine.
If you get a chance, if anybody gets a chance to go with them, it's just the best. And on the New Orleans trip, we got to go and see investigated Bloody Marys. The voodoo queen of New Orleans is Bloody Mary, and she has a house there and also a studio there where she did a voodoo seance, which was amazing. So yeah, I've done quite a bit of investigating with them, and it's just been out of this world.
Yeah. Literally almost. So you kind of preluded my question, but if you had to pick, just because, with our love of the hospitals, we tend to gravitate to those stories.
Mm-hmm.
But, since you brought up the fact that you started investigating with them, it kind of piqued my curiosity as to what has occurred outside with once you started investigating with them. What do you think your favorite experience or favorite investigation that you did, outside of the hospitals?
Oh goodness. In the I would say with Sage Tribe at Shepton Mallet Prison in the UK, it was quite an experience, and we got some, and MJ got some amazing responses, EVP responses. That was probably my favorite investigation so far.
Would be so. With the EVPs, you were actually just not recording, your random, for lack of a better way to classify EVPs, but you were actually recording responses through EVP that were pertinent to the questions that were asked.
Responses from the other side, yes, there were quite a few of those that were just
Love that.
Also, with Fearful Encounters, went to Lynchburg and stayed there, investigated there.
The funeral home?
Yes, Lynchburg Funeral Home. I've got to say that was the most contact I think I've ever received from the other side, because with my camera rolling, I got shoved twice, and you can see me getting shoved twice on camera.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was quite something. And actually, I said something out loud. I said, "Somebody just shoved me," and you can see my body getting shoved. I moved in a way that you don't normally move if you're trying to, not that I would ever fake it, but if you're trying to, if you lose your balance, you don't move in the same way. You can see me.
Right.
My body pushes you. My body moves that way. Anyway, that was quite something. I've never had anything like that happen, and I've been touched before. Well, actually, at Harriman, I started getting strangled once up by the geriatrics ward. I actually almost couldn't talk. Something was around, somebody's hand was around my neck, and I started strangling, sitting there. And who was it? Josh Davenport was with me, and he actually heard it happening to me. It was kind of shocking, but lasted a few minutes, and then I was okay. So you never know you never know what form that's gonna come in.
No, definitely not. Definitely not. So, John, I'm kind of jealous about some of your some of the places that you've been after doing this for as long as I have, but not having had the opportunity to go to some of these places overseas. That's I've done a lot in the States, but my absolute, the pinnacle would be to do some of these places that you've gotten to. So that's kudos on having that experience and the ability to go over there and see some of this. So yeah, that's absolutely amazing. And I love New Orleans too. I haven't gotten to investigate there per se. I've done some tourist investigations, for lack of a better way to put it, just when you're there doing other things and you have a minute just to kind of go in and do kind of a ghost watch instead of an investigate. I've been able to do that in New Orleans, but never a true official investigation. So, but yeah, New Orleans is one of my favorite places on the planet. So, but
Well, yeah, I absolutely fell in love with it. I've been there twice, and would go back there in a second if I could, to New Orleans.
yeah, the stories from New Orleans are just you can't make up the stories that are in New Orleans.
Oh no, no. And if you get a chance to visit with Bloody Mary, that's quite an experience.
Yeah, I'm
She's
going
got
to put that on my list too.
she's got a shop there. And
The shop is amazing.
yeah, shop's amazing, and
Where long you find.
also a very haunted apartment there where some murder took place right after Hurricane Katrina went through the place there, and it's quite sad. The EVPs we caught there were quite sad.
Really?
Yeah. So quite a place.
Oh.
Yeah, it breaks my heart when you record things like that are that I don't want to be redundant and say heart-wrenching, but it's
Kind of sums it up.
yeah, it's truly, I mean, you said sad, and it really is. Just because, as investigators, and I say it almost every week, but I'm going to say it again just because. As investigators, we forget a lot of times, or investigators tend to forget that what we're out there investigating are people.
Mm-hmm.
And they have feelings, they have thoughts, they have dreams, they have all that didn't die with them. It's part of them.
Oh,
They
absolutely.
have, yeah, and so to throw out the baby with the bathwater with, okay, we can't see them, so this is less of, is kind of equally sad. So to hear that, investigating the site of a murder and the EVPs were sad, that's heartbreaking, because that's somebody that's in pain. That's somebody that, and without hearing the EVPs, I would assume that being sad, it was, they were pain related.
Oh yeah. Oh, I it's just they're just horrible. They're quite heartbreaking. Yeah. There was a woman who was killed by her boyfriend there. And, he put her body parts in the refrigerator.
No.
But yeah. So anyway, I don't want to dwell on that, but one of the EVPs I caught was "Please Don't."
Mm-hmm.
And it was just horrifying.
Did you, John? I don't mean to interrupt, but you said one of the EVPs, and then I don't know if it kind of popped funny or something. Did you kind of convey what the EVP said that was?
Yeah, it's "Please Don't Kill Me." It was one of the EVPs.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
It's really horrifying. How
sad.
Oh, but not to dwell on that. Also, going back to Harriman for a second. The first time I was at Harriman, I was there. Actually, Richard Estep was there, the writer, and great guy, great friend of mine, and Beltrusis was there as well. I caught an EVP in the lockup cell there. I'm sure you're familiar with that. I know Amy must be.
Oh yeah.
I know that room well too.
Yeah.
Um,
At our
yeah. The investigator I was with, that apparently that's where they took James Earl Ray after he got stabbed at Brushy, and they
Really?
locked him down apparently in that cell. And one of the well,
oh
Jackie was there with me, and she asked, James Earl Ray, are you here with us? And did they tie you down to this table? And we didn't hear anything while we were in there. And they even played back the recorder they had running, and we didn't hear anything on there. My camera was running. When I got home, I ran the footage from my camera, and when she asks those questions, you hear the loudest EVP I've ever recorded say, "Oh yeah," and I've never heard anything like that. It was shocking.
wow.
This day, it's the clearest, loudest EVP I've ever heard.
Wow. But it was recorded, and see that there again, kind of the same scenario with you having a recording, backed up by video. The fact that you recorded that on your camera, but the other video or audio recorders that were running didn't pick it up.
Exactly. And we even see and hear them playing back their recorder, and they don't hear it.
Wow.
Let me ask you this. I don't know if you looked into this, but do you still have that footage?
Oh yeah, I've got everything. I've pretty much everything I've ever recorded.
Just for shits and giggles, if you ever think about it and you're reviewing your old stuff, pull that up sometime and listen to, on your recording, you get the sound of him saying, "Oh yeah."
Yeah.
But did you, when it was played back on your recording, did you record the voice when it was played back? Does that make sense? In other words, when they played their recorder back, could the camera hear it, but they couldn't?
Here's the amazing thing is the words "oh yeah" are coming from their recorder, but I did not hear it at the time they were playing it back. Neither did they. But it got picked up on my camera from their recorder playing back.
That's cool.
It's crazy.
That's really cool.
But that's how it happened. It's there.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, well, that's why it's paranormal, because it's just the coolest shit ever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've asked everybody else who was there. I've asked them if they heard that. Nobody heard it. Anyway, that's probably the most amazing experience.
Devin said it's meant for you. Devin's over here. You can't see her, but
Yeah, she's over that way. But yeah, so that's a EVP meant for just y'all. So that's incredible. That's incredible. So how long have you been, investigating?
Formally about 4 years with groups, with teams.
Yeah.
Either Sage Tribe or at the hospitals with people who work with Ronnie, and it's all been fast. It's all been just amazing. Of course, I started out watching Ghost Hunters. That was the first show I watched, like a lot of people did.
Mm-hmm.
And that I started watching Ghost Hunters just before I moved into this condo when all the activity started happening. So that show really, that was before I was investigating, and that show really kept me sane when I first was here.
I bet.
Because I got a lot of explanations for activity on Ghost Hunters that helped me figure out what was going on.
Yeah.
I mean, was that your first time with any kind of paranormal activity?
Pretty much, yeah.
No?
Yeah, it really was about 2000.
Your house said, "Hold on, this is what you're gonna do.
We're gonna
now.
change your life.
We're gonna change your whole life right now."
Yeah. And by the fact that Ghost Hunters, you could have done a whole lot worse with kind of a introduction into ghost investigating.
I have investigated. I have interviewed someone back in the day before this show, a couple shows back that I was a host on. they said, I said, I asked the question, same question I asked you, like, what got you started in all this? And this person said, well, I saw it on TV and I thought, you know what? I could do that. And I was like, okay, which TV was it? And they went, oh, Ghost Adventures. And I went, oh,
yeah.
oh, wow. Wow. This is going to go a whole lot differently than how I anticipated. Whoopsie. Yeah. So, no, I mean, you didn't have anything happen to you in your childhood. You didn't live in a haunted home when you were young, nothing like that.
No, actually, no. I know everything was fairly.
You just bought a condo and then surprise, you bought a condo with ghosts.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I don't know about that. I don't know if it happened exactly like that. Really, hard to, I didn't get the whole story behind that because, I talked to a medium, who saw, this is a well-known medium who solves police cases and does a lot of that work.
Okay.
And she did a reading for me on the phone. I was at work and she did a reading for me on the phone and said two things that made no sense to me whatsoever at the time. And then 5-6 years later, it made perfect sense to me and helped me figure out who it was who was here. So it was part of the jigsaw puzzle that took a long time to solve. And
so you know who it is that's there?
Oh, yeah.
Is it somebody attached to that or attached to you?
Oh, attached to me.
Yeah.
Must have followed me here from California, actually, on one of my trips. So somebody I didn't know passed away. So
right.
But
yeah.
That's really the first experience I've had. And then knock on wood. I don't think I've had anybody follow me home from the hospitals. I'm really careful about what I say when I leave places.
Yeah, I am too.
And sometimes I even sage myself in the car.
Yeah, I do some things too, but
you can't be too careful.
No. And ask them to please, very respectfully ask them to please stay where they are. It's their home.
And we cross our fingers and hope they listen to us. I got John involved with New England Legends and then with MJ's online conference with Sage Tribe. So,
okay.
John, Joy.
Yes, Joy. Absolutely. My fabulous friend Joy in Massachusetts. Yes, she I started with New England Legends with Jeff Belanger, a fantastic guy, and Ray Alger. And that's where I met Joy. And then she introduced me to Sage Tribe, and MJ's first experience I had with that was her virtual Paracon, which was fantastic.
A virtual Paracon?
Yes. That was a few years back. It was a virtual Paracon. It was great. There were so many fantastic guests there.
Yeah.
And I can't thank Joy enough for bringing me on there. That was just great.
Yeah, that's incredible.
And working with. Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
Before, not to interrupt, I do apologize. Before you had the things that started happening with your condo, and then you kind of jumped into the deep end by having activity that was then substantiated, and everything kind of falling into place to where it became a puzzle that was, I don't want to say solvable, but there was kind of a progression that made sense through it. In other words, it wasn't so paranormal that it was on the fringes of what we can put together. The reason why I'm asking or referencing all that is before all of this, what was your kind of like in your head when somebody would say about, I got a good ghost story, or
Did you believe?
Yeah. What was your take on the paranormal before you got your condo?
Oh my goodness. Well, I grew up just absolutely loving ghost stories. Any films at all involving ghosts or spirits. Gosh, not much as far as the paranormal, not much as far as activity goes, or actually belief in the spirit world. I always had a belief in the spirit world, and I knew they were there, but I just knew it. But
Yeah.
no contact, no real contact or activity up to that point. So yeah, that triggered it though.
Yeah, definitely.
Between losing somebody and not knowing about it. Somebody was in California, and then finding out years later that that's who was haunting me. Yeah, that's really where it began.
Yeah. That would, I can't imagine that not having an impact.
Yeah, but always, of course, obsessed with anything to do with spirits or ghosts in the movies or literature. So I'm sure that somehow invited in certain elements.
We wonder. We all wonder.
Yeah, we
what
do
we
wonder.
bring. What invites it in?
Yeah.
Like, what is the gateway?
Yeah,
The gateway drug. The
to
paranormal.
me, at least in this context, is it necessarily that it is an invitation, or is it just an opening of you to be aware of what you're seeing?
Well, as an artist and photographer, I think I'm really open to really open to seeing a lot more deeply than I used to. I know that.
Mm-hmm.
But I've always been open to the other side. I'm sure I've always been open. It's just it took certain events in my life for someone from the other side to reach out.
Yeah.
And that triggered a whole avalanche of activity and events, I'm sure.
Yeah. That's I don't know. That's really interesting. So, I've got to ask. Right behind you is some artwork or some photographs. Is that some of your work that's hanging behind you?
Oh, yep, absolutely. In fact, that's one of my spirit images right up here.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know if you can see it too clearly, but there in the middle. That's up in the North Georgia wilderness, and if you look just upper left of middle, there's what seems to be a figure standing there. I don't know if you can see it in this light.
Up in here.
Yeah.
But it's just hard to see from here. Let me see if I can.
That's just gorgeous on its own.
Yeah, like spirit or not, it's just beautiful.
Is black and white, and as a photographer, I've got to ask, is black and white your favorite medium?
Oh my gosh, yes. I used to manage an old movie theater and art house, and for years and years I was there, and we ran so many old movies, and studying those old films really taught me pretty much everything about black and white and exposure and lighting, etc. So
they knew their shit when they were filming those.
Oh my gosh,
it's
the old cinematographers.
Oh my gosh, it was.
Yeah.
Yep, I agree. So kudos to your work. I love black and white as well.
And I went to film school and learned, shoot and process my own black and white film. So you learn all about that, and then of course the zone system, Ansel Adams, and white, and all the processing. Yeah, if you learn all of that, you really get a sense of what to do, what not to do, and the extent to which you can expose film.
Yep. You threw out the names of one of my favorites. So Ansel Adams is
I do love Ansel Adams.
Yes.
I have some prints.
Oh, quick story. Now that you mentioned Ansel Adams, quick story. I did a great, fantastic workshop actually out in Yosemite, and Ansel Adams his working darkroom out there with his heir apparent, who is Kara Kuklis, who's teaching the workshops there. He's done it for 26 years. Did a workshop out there in Ansel Adams' darkroom, and of course, they go around the room there. They ask who everybody is, what they do, and I have to tell them I'm a paranormal investigator. So at the end of the class, they actually let me do an EVP session in Ansel Adams.
Did they really?
Oh, how cool! That's dope.
Nobody's ever done that as far as we know, and
That is
He's
so
Dude.
cool.
the teacher wanted to know if Ansel Adams had any problems with him introducing digital to that dark room. And I got an answer back that it was okay.
That is so freaking cool.
That's amazing.
So
Dude, you're my new favorite paranormal investigator. So sorry. Yeah, hands down. She's
Since-
over here patting me because
I
she
did.
knows
I
I'm
was like,
just
I
like
heard, and I was like, oh,
she
it's
knows
okay.
my
It's
love of
okay.
photography.
It's okay.
Yeah, as a kid, my love of photography is what brought me in ghosts, but it was the brown lady, in Ratham Hall in England.
Yeah.
It was just my love of these ghost photographs, and of course, back in the early days, they were all black and white. That led to me studying photography, majoring in photography, working in black and white, and also along that line, hand in hand with that, was my love of the paranormal. And so it kind of evolved together separately, I guess, but together.
Ish.
Yeah, going to college in some of the most haunted areas.
Yeah, we did a
it's-
show on that.
Of my college where the Ouija board shit
where we
happened.
played with the Ouija board.
But
And
yeah,
I got some really good pictures. But you know what? Who could get some really good pictures is that guy, John.
yeah. So
He did this amazing photo box. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but
No,
he
you're
did
good.
this whole photo box that said Old South. It's so cool. I love what you made for the hospital.
oh gosh, thank you. I'd love doing that.
So okay, now I
Continue
putting
on.
1 and 2 together there. So
It's like well, I don't know that you've seen it because I don't think you've been
I've
to the
heard of
hospital. You've heard of me talk about
yeah,
it.
yeah.
'cause
But I
do
didn't know who
love
put that.
it.
Okay, so yeah, I heard about you before I even
He's
know
gonna
I was
take
hearing
because
about
he's
you.
gonna take some pictures of my baby boy.
Yeah, I knew
Our
about that too.
senior.
Okay, cool. It all comes together. But
Yeah,
John, yeah,
that guy.
kudos. Yeah, you've got my admiration and support and all of that good stuff. So
Takes amazing pictures.
so yeah, that's also. I want to get together sometime
You do too.
and talk shop about
Great.
everything. So
Great.
Yeah.
Well, one thing, have you ever worked with the Kodak high-speed infrared film, the old stock that they don't make anymore? Oh gosh.
Devin's very excited over here.
yeah, Devin's over here going, oh my
Devin's
gosh. Off camera, she's
Yeah,
like,
you
what?
can- yeah.
Well, I've shot quite a bit of that over the years, and they discontinued it. What was it? 15 years ago or so? 15, maybe 20 years now. Long
Yeah.
time. Oh, actually, a long time ago. Kodak stopped making this film, but that's where I've gotten so many of my spirit images is on this old Kodak high-speed infrared 35 millimeter stock. And I was lucky enough to get some not too long ago on eBay. Somebody had it in their freezer.
Oh,
But if you ever want to try an amazing film stock that, well, in my experience, picks up spirit, that's the stock.
Yeah. I'll have to dig out my old 35 millimeter. And so, yeah, that's all I shot. I mean, other than like the Mamias and the, stuff like that weren't that. But typically for what I owned, that was all I shot was 35 millimeter. And but yeah, I'm in all. So I can't wait to meet you. I'm going to try, if you are up there on the 26th.
yeah. No, seriously, you're gonna pass right by us. We can do a little caravan.
Yeah, we're gonna convoy
We can
to
all
it.
convoy. We can
Oh.
whatever.
Because yeah, I'm planning on being there. If you're there, I would love to hang out a little bit together and like I said, talk shop on both levels, the photography and the paranormal.
Great. Well, even if I have to work, I'm going to try to get up there. I might be a little bit late, but
Perfect.
I'll try to get there.
Yeah,
But I'll let you know. I'll let you know what time I can get up there.
Yeah, just text me now. Okay, tell me something. What's the scariest thing that you've ever done?
Is that normal? Go ahead. You ask.
What is what?
Talk to.
What's
What's
you were
this
pointing
scary?
at something weird, and I was like you saw something. Anyways, So what's the scariest thing? Have you been scared?
Get
Like,
scary I've ever done?
yeah.
Oh. Gosh. Well, no, I've gotten scared in the hospitals a few times. I got scared when I was sitting down there on 3 in the dark side of 3 doing that Estes session.
Yeah.
I did get scared and my skin was crawling. Oh yes. And then when that spirit walked up on me and I could feel them right in front of my face, that scared me.
Yeah, that's a big no for me. Like the third floor in general, just kind of gives me the ick.
Well,
It's fine on the light side, but the dark side, especially over near the surgery centers, like labor and delivery and around the corner to the surgery rooms. I've always kind of had a weird like.
it's freaky. It's freaky because there are no windows for number for the
Yeah, and I think that's
no windows there. It's just that's yeah. But I've never been more elated than when I saw the full body apparition in daylight. We were there cleaning in the daytime in the summer last summer, and I saw a full body apparition, someone with dark hair, a white lab coat, walk across the hall right in front of Nellie's room, in front of that.
okay.
window. I was gobsmacked. I was thrilled.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Never, that's the happiest I've been in investigating is when I saw
Yeah,
that.
yeah. Right when you saw it, was your initial reaction like happiness, or was there like a what the hell, or how did you perceive that that oomph?
Oh yeah, it was shock and then elation. It was shock and elation. I was just wow, and I had to tell everybody. There were a couple other people there, and I had to tell them immediately. It was just so amazing, and yeah, I hope to see something like that again someday. But who knows?
Yeah.
First and only time I've ever seen something like that.
Yeah, and it's that's not something that happens every day. So, I've been investigating for 24 years, somewhere in there. And I have had I've seen one apparition that doesn't make any sense. And so to me that's one I don't want to necessarily throw out, but it's and I'll tell this story at some point, but I have witnessed two of my investigators. We were doing the Moon River Brewery in Savannah.
You're already telling the story.
And no, this is a different story. And just real quickly, I was coming up the stairs. They were on the landing right above me, so I could see them. But the floor, I'm coming up the stairs, and the floor here, I can't see the floor because I'm coming up the stairs to that floor. But right beside me on the floor in the doorway is a full body apparition of a lady in a full dress. And I watched them because I made eye contact with them as I started up the stairs, and then they start doing this. And so I see them from the point of their contact. I look over, I can't see anything. But then to see their full experience and then to pull them aside, I had to quickly go into investigator mode and say, okay, don't say a word about what you saw. Pulled them aside and had them both describe what they were seeing, because they were saying as this was going on.
Was this that Moon River?
Yeah. They're like, dude, are you seeing this? But that was the extent of their description. But then to have pulled them aside, and each of them said, she had her hair pulled back and it was tight right in here. And then it ballooned out and you could see the needlework at the bottom of her. They both described the same exact woman.
Wow.
So to see that part of that experience for somebody else, to me, that is, although I didn't have the experience, I had, I don't know, almost as equally as interesting experience without seeing the full body apparition, especially to the extent that you did. But But that was why I wanted to kind of, what was your initial reaction? Was, holy shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I gasped audibly.
Yeah. That's
I would too.
that's amazing. So
Yeah, that's on my bucket list though. Moon River and Savannah, and also the Savannah Theater.
There's
I've heard
no river.
Savannah
still
Theater.
there, but it's not. Yeah, that's one
closed.
I've always wanted to go
It's
to too.
closed.
But yeah, Moon River is closed
It's
down now.
closed.
Oh, is it? Oh,
Yeah.
Like my fiance and I went there last May on our way back from where are we coming back from? Oh, you got it. On our way back from St. Augustine. And we stopped in there and I was like, I want to go to Moon River. And allegedly my fiance may or may not have taken a glass from there on her way out. And now I'm glad that she did.
Yeah.
Allegedly. Because it's closed. So
yeah, it's sad.
It was closed very quickly, like a couple of months after that.
When
And
it
were
closed
there in
quick,
May.
too.
It did. And I don't. What's going to happen to the building?
I don't know, but hopefully something
that's
good.
That's what I worry about is what's going to happen to the building. Because that building was a brothel and
It was a hotel.
a hotel.
It was originally a bank, and then it became a hotel.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I've had the privilege of investigating it probably 6 times.
Oh wow.
This guy.
And
he's fancy.
Yeah. Back when we
yes.
Yeah, no. I've just been doing it a while. That's all. Oh. But back when we first started investigating it, we kind of got to know management, and to the point where we had full run of the place, to where we could go later. In later years, they made it where you can investigate, but you can only do such and such floors.
Right.
And it was I don't know, a privilege. It was, we just lucked into it. I'm not going to say anything, but we just lucked into the ability to investigate.
Could you look into it again?
Hopefully. But
and we'll bring John.
Yeah, John, if I can get back in there, you're definitely coming with us. But
please, yes.
We started it.
No, because you take the pictures.
Yeah, you take the pictures. I don't have time to anymore, unfortunately.
Because he's too bossy.
I'm too bossy. No, there's too much going on when you run a group. There's just so much to do that you
get bossy.
Wow, you have to get bossy sometimes. No, but we started right before the ghost hunters hit the air. We had been doing it for a while. When they started, and of course with everybody else, we were like, holy crap, this is amazing that what we do is on TV now. They do it probably the closest to how we investigate that I've seen even to date on TV. But we were the first team that was allowed to investigate.
Come. Devin has to see his cat. Look at the orange. Devin has an orange cat too. No, look. Look at Devin has an orange. Yours is a male too, right?
Yep.
Okay, so Devin has an orange male as well. I have the weird orange female.
They're the best.
Yeah. But you had to see his orange. I'm sorry to interrupt y'all, but it's a cat. Us cat people are like, hold on, this is more important than ghosts right now. We gotta talk about cats.
We need
cats. And his cat hugs him.
Yeah,
it is sweet. Baby Bug does not hug. Baby Bug's like
yeah. But yeah, we started back in I don't want to say the early days of investigating, but it wasn't, cool. It wasn't the way to go. Everybody that we talked to either thought we were demonic or the coolest thing ever, and there was no in between.
What if you're both?
Demonically cool.
Why did you move? That's so rude.
But
I'm just asking a question.
yeah, so we happened into a lot that I think has since changed. You know, we would do like the Spanish military hospital, and they would give us the keys.
Oh, cool.
But the next door to that was Antiques and Unique Collectibles.
I've been in there several times while I'm waiting on the place to close. But yeah, it's
you didn't know Denise and Larry then.
I had seen them, but I didn't know who they were.
But now you know.
But
them.
now I know. Yeah. So hey, Denise. Hey, Larry.
Larry always posts our show.
But yeah, we were like the first team that was actually allowed to investigate Bonaventure after hours.
Oh wow! Oh, that's an amazing place.
Yeah, we had some crazy.
It's amazing during the day. Like,
yeah,
I can't even during the day. It's its own. Look at him, he's so cute.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I want to snuggle him.
So, but yeah, if I can get back into Moon River, hopefully some of the management still exists with that, and it's just not a open business, but they're kind of in transition or something. But yeah, if I can find a connection into that, you're going to have to come with us.
Oh, please call me. Please call me if you do.
Hospital.
No, what? He doesn't need a connection.
I just got distracted by the cat because he's so cute. I want to snuggle him.
You'd probably have to fight to snuggle with him. Sorry.
He probably wants to only snuggle with his dad, and he's like, "Ew, I don't want to snuggle you. You're gross. Only my dad." Because Orange is sort of weird.
I can tell you this. I can tell you the story of me finding him.
Yeah.
Please.
I was okay. This is for real. I was leaving work one day. I was working in a retail store or a bank actually, and left work and went to my car and saw a 4-month-old orange tabby kitten run under my car. And he was hiding. He was scared. I went down, knelt by the tire. His little paw, only his paw, came out around the tire, put my finger down, and he wrapped it around my finger.
Aww.
Oh my God.
And y'all have been pals ever since.
That was it.
Devin said the cat distribution system. It is.
It was fate appointed that he's here.
It was.
That's your son now.
That's your son. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
The cat distribution system said, "Here's your son."
Yeah.
He's orange, and let me tell you, they're going to give you a run for your money, in all the ways. But I mean,
the best ways.
All the best ways. Well, yeah, I mean, because you go from like one minute, you're like, "Oh my God, you're so perfect," to like, "What the fuck are you doing now?" Oh my God. Please explain to me the sense in what you're doing. And maybe that's I've only had orange females, so maybe that's an orange female thing. But
yeah, and to preface her comments, she's referring to a cat that you hear disturbances in the counters or in the cabinets. And you go in there, and Baby Bug is in the cabinets.
Listen. All
with
of
everything
my
knocked out of the cabinet.
And so all of my cabinets are not. If you were to come to my house right now, and I would be like, "Oh, go get a glass out of the cabinet." No. Oh, here she is. Look at her. She knows we're talking about her. I would say, "Go get a glass out of the cabinet," and you'd be like, "Okay," and then you go to pull it. Oh, because there's child locks on there. Because of my orange cat, I have to have. My baby is 18. You know, my son is about to graduate, right? I have child locks on my cabinets that were put in by my baby.
For the cat.
For the cat. Because she will clear out a cabinet. Because
to lay on the bread.
To lay on the bread.
Yes, they're monkeys in cat suits.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. You know, it's a conundrum, you orange fuckers.
Yeah.
We love you, but my goodness, you have a mind of your. It's like they're. And there was this joke about them sharing a brain cell. Like, I'm gonna have to invite you to one of the orange cat pages now that I know you have an orange cat, because it's like they share this one brain cell, and I don't think that the female will ever.
Maybe
speak of the devil. Look, she just suddenly took off like something put a firecracker in her ass. She just suddenly got up and went zoop.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know. They shared this one brain cell, and Baby Book rarely gets it. So I don't know who's hoarding all of the brain cells of the orange cats, but Baby Book could use one.
My
She
God.
decided one time, ever so often, she decides to eat all the hair off of one side of her body. Why?
We don't know.
We'll never know. I don't even think we'll know when we get to the other side.
No.
I don't even think that's.
They're gonna be like, dude, we have no idea.
Yeah, they're like,
Just accept it.
You know what? We're gonna give you bonus points for owning an orange cat because we don't know what's going on either. So here you go. Here's your free pass. If you don't want to hang out, and haunt people, we'll let you go a little bit further, up the chart. Because you did own an orange cat, and you did some bad things when you were alive, but it's okay because you know what? You nurtured
and
an
loved
orange cat. That's our get into the good side for treat.
Joy, you are very welcome. Joy, just send a message. It'll pop up here in a minute, hopefully while we're still on the air. But that said, thanks for having John and Alfie on
Oh my
our
God,
show.
anytime, please.
Joy, you are very welcome. And John, I know that you know Amy outside of the show. I hope to get to know you outside the show a little bit. But it has been an honor and a joy to have you on our show. I truly enjoyed it. I'm looking forward to both having you on the phone again, on the show again, and to hopefully doing an investigation with you and getting to hang out. And
yeah, so text me about the 26th. So
okay.
And we'll all just like make sure, because I'm going to be there, he's going to be there, and you're going to be there. And if the timing is right, we can all ride together or whatever. But yeah, I can't wait to see you.
Great. Oh gosh, yes. I always love to see you, and I'm sure it'd be a great investigation.
Always.
Always.
Up there.
It always is. There's always something amazing there.
Yeah. We can even, park cars at one of our locations and take one vehicle up if you want to do that. Or we can have us a convoy.
It's a convoy. Rubber duck.
Rubber duck.
Rubber duck.
But I'm sorry, I just throw that.
No,
that's
from the song. Convoy.
That made me very old. Though.
Hey, Big Ben, this is Rubber Duck.
This is Rubber Duck.
We'll catch you on the flip flop.
I'm feeling old suddenly.
Yeah. Me too.
I think I'm older than you. You're good.
And I think that anyway, you and I have plans to snap some pics. And I'll make sure that Kevin joins us for the after party of the after pics. And so if for some reason you don't get to
the after pics,
does that make it weird? Did I make it sound weird? No, he's gonna.
He didn't cringe too bad.
No, he didn't because he knows what I'm talking about. Because he's gonna take some pictures of my baby boy for senior pics, and because I didn't want those cheesy coming from the freaking studio bullshit. That's not my kid. That is not my kid.
Although I did do commercial photography like that for 10 years.
Well, I'm not being offensive. I'm just saying that that's just not my kid.
I understand. I understand completely.
Yeah. But no, and so again, because I use some drinks on the square. So this guy can meet us. This guy started the Marietta Ghost Tour.
Oh, is that right?
Yes.
Oh, fantastic.
So we'll have
with my partner.
We'll have him join us because he can tell us all the goods of the square. I mean, I know most of them, but you maybe don't. And this guy knows some of the goods of the square, so that'll be fun too.
Oh, what about the Strand Theater? Is that haunted?
Yeah.
I've actually
Yeah.
Yes.
You got a yes from all three of us.
I've actually been able to investigate it.
Oh,
Um,
I would love to do that. Oh my gosh.
I'll see if I can set that back up. I no longer have the means to, because we were starting the tour, and to say I started the tour, my partner, I came in, she was in the process of putting together a ghost tour. Um, I was an investigator that was located fairly close to the square and was up there talking about some things and was introduced by the owner of McCracken's. And so she already had the groundwork. So to say I started it is kind of, I was a part of the process of starting the ghost tour. But we had the ability, because of my paranormal experience as an investigator and her experience as a storyteller and a writer, we had this unbelievably unique, I don't know, just because of what we were putting together, we were able to get into places that typically wouldn't, want an investigator team to come in there. And so, yeah, we got to investigate a lot of the places around the square that some of them I can talk about publicly, some of them I can't.
Mhm.
Some of them, because of government type things, I can't talk about on the air. But off the air, yeah, come up here. Maybe we'll take the tour, and then I'll
Fun fact us.
fun fact y'all.
Yes.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yeah, we'll make a night of it. So yeah, definitely we'll put together a time. Well, I guess you're coming up anyway. So, when you're here doing that, we'll put together a little something to definitely give you some fun stuff to do after the picture taken.
Great. Great. I love it.
What did that sound
Emma,
creepy?
when you said the picture taken, it sounds creepy.
I don't know. John, did you think that was creepy? Fun stuff to
No,
do
it's
after
just
the
her
picture
laughing.
taken?
We're gonna Devin said it was my laughing that was creepy. Not
Yeah,
me.
that's what creeped me out was the. But we are past the
John's
time.
mad.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
You have a preface then.
But John, not to sound redundant, but we are at
We're
the,
gonna have you
at the end
back
of our
because
show.
we love you.
And
And
it was
Oh,
nice
gosh.
to meet you. At least through this. I
Thank
look forward to meeting you in person really soon. But it has been an honor and a privilege to have you on the show, and I truly enjoyed your stories and some of your experiences and all of that. So I look forward to having you back, and I look forward to meeting you soon.
yes,
Great.
and
Thank you.
thank
Thank
you,
you so much.
John. I love you, and I can't wait to see you on the 26th. Okay.
Oh gosh, yes. Thank you so much, Amy. Thank you, Kevin, for having me on, and Stan as well. Thank you so much.
And
Really
next
appreciate
time we have you back, I would love to showcase some of your artwork, some of your photos, because you do take amazing pictures. So
Okay. Oh, I have I actually have a video which was Kelly Hoppola was kind enough to run at we had a Paracon recently for the Autism Alliance of Michigan.
Oh.
They arranged at the in Detroit suburbs at the State Theater, and it was an online Paracon, and they actually ran I have a video of my artwork, so maybe we can get that to you somehow.
Yes.
Yeah,
please.
yeah.
So
We'll
have
link
you
to
back
it.
soon. Let's work on this.
Yeah, sooner than later.
Yeah, definitely.
I think there's a lot more that we didn't get to touch. We may have just kind of scratched the surface on some things.
Yeah.
And so yeah, let's plan on having you back on the show sometime really soon.
So Joy, we will have him back soon. Look, Joy said he is wonderful.
It is.
Oh gosh, Joy, love you, Joy.
Yeah,
Joy,
and she also said something that I didn't bring up on the air just because when I saw it, we were in the middle of talking about some stuff. But she said that your photograph or your photography is amazing.
It is.
And
I agree, Joy.
And she then prefaced that it is wonderful with the fact that it's your video that is wonderful. So if you can get us a link to that.
Next time we have you on, we can.
Actually, you know what happened? You know what they did?
Kelly works with Shane Pittman and Josh Purvis and Michael Angus of Searchers, and Beacon TV. They actually
We're on Beacon.
yeah, they've got the they've actually got the Paracon on Beacon TV now when my video is part of it. So it's actually there to anybody out there who wants to subscribe to a great streaming service, Beacon TV.
Beacon. Yeah, like
Yeah.
that was the whole thing at Atlanta is Beacon.
Yeah. So anyway, I thought I'd put that out there. The video's on there, I guess.
Yeah.
But I can find a way to get it to you as well.
Yeah. Well, that, I mean, in the meantime, that gives our listeners a chance to, or a way to kind of reach out and to see some of your stuff. And, you know, and we've got the I don't know, the, what would you call her saying this is really good? The, review the
Who are you talking about?
Her saying his video is wonderful.
Oh yes, we have some references.
Yeah.
And also all sale. I have a link to a shop on my website, and all proceeds from sales through the end of this month through the end of April are going to the Autism Alliance of Michigan. So
really?
That's it. That's at johnhowephotography.com. So just
okay,
throw that out there.
JohnHowePhotography.com.
JohnHowePhotography.com.
I might
all proceeds
in a moment.
She's trying to show your little orange one here, John.
She's waving.
Oh, hey.
She's not little.
Hey there.
Little about this.
Yeah, there is nothing
goodness.
little about that cat.
Wow. Hey there.
Oh,
Very, very cute. Very cute. Adorable. Look at that. Look at that pudding. Look at that face.
Look how happy she looks.
Oh my gosh. Oh, no.
Like,
Oh gosh. Well, I was raised by cats, so I belong to cats. I always have, and dogs, but
I do too.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
JohnHowePhotography.com. She's got an anger tail, so watch out. I'm the one that's going to take the brunt of this, not you.
So,
why would you touch her?
and Joy said she's cute.
She's very cute, but she weighs about 40 pounds.
oh my gosh.
Maybe not 40. I'm just
I
kidding.
can't believe she's
You're
letting
tight.
me do
Look
that.
at her face.
She's like, let me go. I'm so going to tear you up.
Afraid to let her go. I'm afraid.
You better be wearing your shin guards tonight.
Yeah, exactly.
So JohnHowePhotography.com.
Yep.
Yes.
Yes.
And to everybody that's listening, we will definitely have John back because I love John, and where we investigate together, and so John will definitely be back. So Joy, don't worry, we'll have him back, and maybe this one. We'll put her on a little diet for next.
A little diet. That's going to take more than a little diet. But John, thank you so much. I enjoyed it. Joy, I appreciate you listening.
Thank you for listening. And to everybody who's going to listen on the podcast later on, we love you. I know Heather listens in the morning, so love you, Heather.
And Heather, to thank you on this. Thank you again for my Christmas painting.
Yeah.
It is hanging in my office at work, and I have had several people come in and say, "Oh my God, where did you get that?" So thank you for that. But thank you to our listeners, John. Thank you again. It was and I truly enjoyed our discussion tonight.
I'm not done with you. I'm not done with you.
So, but anyway,
trying to get away.
Good night, everybody. We love you.
Thank you. Love you all. Thank you.
Thank you for listening. Baby Bug,
John, love you.
for
Thank
listening.
you.
Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.
Good night, y'all.
Good night.
I'm going to put you down.